to Amusement Park Road Trip. And now your hosts, Matt and Brandon.
Thank you for joining us on this road trip today. My name is Matt, and I'm joined here with Brandon.
I'm here, and I'm ready to go.
We're both here, and we're both ready to go because we've got a lot to cover today. We're going to be talking about Busch Gardens in Williamsburg, Virginia.
Talking about the bushes.
That's funny you say that. Before we even get started, I worked with this girl who grew up on the east side of the country in North Carolina, and she told me how her parents told her one day, we're going to go visit Busch Gardens. And she thought it was going to be like
topiaries.
You walk around. Yeah, topiaries. A bunch of bushes. That's what it sounds like. But no, I learned
Can
something
I share one
new.
more thing about bushes?
Yeah.
I've never been, I mean, bad lip readings are fine, right? They're funny. They do what they do. But there's one bad lip reading that lives rent free in my head. And it's called Bushes of Love.
Oh, yeah.
You've seen it?
Oh, yeah. That's a good one.
It is so good.
I think I heard that song playing in a Walmart one day, and I was like, are they seriously playing this? I couldn't believe it.
It's from Star Wars, so just
Yeah.
look it up. Just Google or YouTube Bushes of Love, and you will not be disappointed with the Bushes of Love.
No, you will not. It's so good. I need to go back and revisit that song.
Yeah, you do.
But those are not the kind of bushes we're talking about today.
What kind of bushes are we talking about today?
Anheuser-Busch built Busch Gardens. And yes, that is the brewing company that makes Budweiser. That's something I learned new today. And I was like, oh, that makes sense why it's called Busch Gardens.
Yeah, I always knew it. So
that's pretty cool. I did not know that. I learned it. But I did know SeaWorld Parks and Entertainment owns it. And I did know that one. And in fact, I've been to SeaWorld in San Diego, and they have an identical roller coaster here. When I was watching the videos, I'm like, wait a minute. This is weird because I've been on this roller coaster before. So it is identical. Different names, though, but we'll get to that in a minute. Well, I looked on their website. They say they have 53 attractions, and I was really confused. I did not count them out, but I did not see 53 attractions. I'm not sure what is an attraction, I guess, like what you can define as an attraction.
If something that attracts you to the area or the thing.
Is like a corn dog stand an attraction?
Ooh, is it a themed corn dog stand?
Yeah, exactly. That's if it's themed, is that counting as an attraction? That's a good question.
That's a good question.
But they do have 10 coasters and 3 water rides. That one was more straightforward, and I understood that. Here's some fun facts about Busch Gardens. When it opened, it was called Busch Gardens, the Old Country. So last week in our episode, if you listened, I teased this episode by saying we're going to a country-themed theme park, and it's not Epcot. So when it opened, it was the Old Country back in 1975. Did I say that it opened May 16th, 1975? I might have passed over that one. So yeah, 75. It's called the Old Country. There was also a little bit in the mid 2000s. It was called Busch Gardens Europe, which makes sense to me. I think that's a good name. I don't know why they didn't stick to it, but for now,
it's in Europe.
Because it's in Europe.
Yeah.
Maybe they made a Busch Gardens in Europe.
No, I'm saying, how does that make sense if it's called Busch Gardens Europe and it's not in Europe?
Oh, because you're visiting Europe.
Yeah, but it's not in Europe. That's confusing.
Okay, here we go. Here's the name. Busch Gardens Europe in Williamsburg, Virginia is what they should have called it.
Okay.
Imagine saying that every time. Like I did this morning. I woke up and I was like, hey, Brandon. Oh, I came to your house first. Hey, Brandon, you want to go to Busch Gardens in Williamsburg, Virginia? Dang it, I already screwed it up. You want to go to Busch
really
Gardens
early in the morning. You were tired.
In Williamsburg, Virginia?
And I said, I'm ready to go. But I was really sleepy. I said, I am ready to go.
Yeah, it did sound like that, actually. So yeah, for now, it's just Busch Gardens in Williamsburg, Virginia. Although I'm sure people just say, I'm going to Busch Gardens.
Did you know there's one in Tampa?
Yep.
Yeah, I did too. After I watched the whole video and realized that was not the park we were covering today.
You're like this. Matt wrote up all this stuff and nothing matches.
Yeah, I'm like, where's the countries?
That's pretty funny.
It wasn't funny. It was a waste of time.
Oh, I'm sorry.
But hey, when we go to Tampa, I'm ready to go.
Yeah, you are. We're ready to go. When I looked this up, it said 422 acres. Now, to give you an idea, Disneyland's 85 acres. So I'm like, that is huge. But I think that's actually just the land that they own. That's not the actual theme park, because there's a ride description for the Rhine River Run, which is a boat ride we'll get to. And it says it covers 134. It goes through the 134 acre park. So I'm sticking with 134 acres. Still pretty big. Not quite double the size of Disney, but they do have a lot of big coasters that take up that space. As mentioned already, its theme is European countries. So here you'll be able to visit England, France, Germany, Italy, Scotland, and Ireland. And instead of these being called lands or countries, they're called hamlets, which I had to look up the word. Are you familiar with the word hamlet in this context?
I was in the play Hamlet.
You were in the play?
No, I wasn't in the play Hamlet. No, I don't know why I said that. That was a lie.
I looked it
I was
up.
in play Macbeth. So
Nice.
I have no relevant information to provide to you.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
Keeping our listeners on their toes. A hamlet is a small settlement, generally smaller than a village, which I think would describe these countries that you visit. So yes, they are referred to as hamlets. Another fun fact, starting in January 2021, so pretty recent, it became an open park year-round. And some of the seasons that they celebrate year-round, although the first one was always there, is Hallowscream, which is for Halloween. They do celebrations for St. Patrick's Day and Night of Oktoberfest and a Christmas town. So when I was looking stuff up for the park and looking at the map and stuff, it just kept bringing up the Christmas map, which is cool, but not what I was looking for. The last thing that I wanted to cover in our fun facts is it wins many awards for the most beautiful park. And actually, this is what brought it to my attention when we did our Golden Ticket Awards episode. I saw that this was on there. And also, my neighbors went there during the summer and told me all about their trip. So it was put on my radar. But for 2023, it did win the Golden Ticket Award for the most beautiful park. All right. You got anything to add before we take a walk through the park?
Nope.
Well, let's take a walk through the park. All right. So this walk is going to feel a little differently, mostly because I imagine you, the listener, when you hear Brandon and I talk about walking through the park, you probably imagine us holding hands. That's
skipping.
Yeah. We're skipping through holding hands. This is going to be more of a pass of a baton. So I'm going to walk through a land and then hand that baton over to Brandon, and he's going to walk us through the next land. And I keep saying land, and it's a hamlet.
Golly gee, buddy.
So we're going to be
townships. Call them townships.
We'll be walking through hamlets. I should be able to remember that. All right, we're entering the park, and you are entering in Banbury Cross, which is England. The theming is really cool. Of course, they've got the red phone booths and English architecture. And how could you not visit England without seeing the Elizabeth Tower, more commonly known as Big Ben? It's not quite as big or really looks like the tower, the clock, but you get the idea. You get to visit that.
You gotta have a clock tower. You gotta.
Yeah, you gotta in England, right? Since this is the entrance of the park, there really aren't rides, but there is a Globe Theater, which includes mini live shows and 4D shows. Now, this part made me laugh. The current show, at least what the website says the current show is American Jukebox Summer Remix. And I was like, what a missed opportunity. You're in England and you're going to see a show and it's American Jukebox. Why not a London punk show or music from England?
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Can I also point out why don't they have a Ferris wheel in the England section? Because you look at that iconic Big Ben skyline, and what else do you see in the background?
The Ferris wheel.
Ferris wheel.
Maybe because it's at the entrance.
Missed opportunity.
Yeah. Well, the last thing in England is there is a sky ride, and it goes in a triangle. It's a one-way sky ride around the park. So it goes from England to France, France to Germany, Germany back to England. You can get on that attraction, I guess. So in England, you can get on the sky ride. And something unique is that when you get on, I mean, it's known as the sky ride, but when you get on each different hamlet, they're called something different. I cannot remember what this one was called in England. It starts with a B, but I can't remember it. Anyway, that is England. That's the entrance of the park. And now I pass the baton to you, Brandon.
Well, where do we go from England? We go to Scotland Yard. Oh, wait, that's actually in England. No. So Scotland is it's called Heather Downs. And I don't know, it's not still doesn't have a ton in it, but you've got the Tweedsy train station, which is one of 3 train stations for the 20-minute train park ride around the park. It's also home to the Heather Downs Highland Stables, where you can find Scottish black-faced sheep, border collies, and Clydesdales. Why would they have Clydesdales here, you ask?
Why do they have Clydesdales here?
Because once again, Matt, we learned that Anheuser-Busch is the driving force of this park. So of course they got to have the big Clydesdales.
I think Anheuser-Busch moved away from the Clydesdales. Maybe not,
Did
but I think so. Maybe it's just they're not using them in Budweiser advertisement anymore.
No, but I mean, a quick Google says they do still care for and I guess hold the Clydesdales in high regard. So they are still here. Prior to 2010, the stables were home to many Anheuser-Busch Clydesdales. And then you also got here a wonderful loop coaster called the Loch Ness Monster, which a little disappointed. It's not some kind of cool Loch Ness Monster dark ride, but at least they get an A- for the name.
Yeah, that is a good one.
And it's a looping aero development roller coaster, opened in 1978, as is the first and only coaster to have interlocking loops. And it was closed in 2023 to receive a makeover from Premier Rides. So we were not able to go on to it, obviously, because it's closed, but it's still there. Soon to be changed.
I thought it's funny that it opened in 1978 and it's still the only coaster have locking inner loops.
Yeah, makes
Which
you
means
wonder why it's the only one.
probably because it's not great.
Because it sucks.
I don't know. That's my assumption, is that they're like, oh yeah, it's cool, but it actually doesn't make sense to do it, so we're not going to do it.
They're like, come try the one and only. And then people write it and they leave saying, yep, good thing it's the one and only.
Yeah. Well, that makes sense. Why it's the only.
The last part of Scotland to mention is it has Sesame Street Forest of Fun, and it has 4 children and family rides.
That's exciting. I guess that makes sense because SeaWorld and San Diego had Sesame Street stuff as well. So,
but what does Sesame Street have to do with Scotland?
it's in the Forest of Fun.
Yeah, but
I mean, fit there?
There's nowhere else they can put it. Let's be real.
Yeah, that's
They
true.
threw it in Scotland.
The land of my ancestors, Scotland. Anyway, we're going to move on to Ireland.
No. I'm going to pass the baton on to you.
Oh, okay.
Here you go. Here's the baton.
Oh, thank you. I was hoping you do like a Scottish accent.
Here's the baton.
I can't.
I don't know how to do a Scottish accent.
I don't know either. But my ancestors did come from Scotland.
Let me channel my inner Willie the groundskeeper.
Oh yeah.
Yep. Still nothing. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Take
I
it
can
away.
hear him, but I can't.
I can hear
do
him.
it.
Yeah. I can't say anything. Yeah. Nope. Nothing's coming out.
That was great. That was really good. Anyway, yeah, we move on to.
I got my kilt. Oh, there we go.
There we go.
Oh, I guess you can kind of channel your Shrek because Shrek's kind of Scottish, right? I got my kilt.
I'm just gonna go ahead and stop you there, Brandon. Before you go any further, I'm doing you a favor.
Thank you.
I'm
my
not
haggis, my haggis and my kilt. Okay. All right, go on.
I said that's enough. I'm not going to try an Ireland and Irish accent, but we are moving on to Ireland. To Killarney is the name of the hamlet.
Hold on. We really need to start over because you didn't even do an English accent. I mean, you could do an English accent.
No,
Okay.
actually, no. I've been watching Love on the Spectrum. Harry Potter.
That's Australian that you're watching.
Yeah, I was watching Love on the Spectrum in Australia, and after watching that for so long, I feel like I can do that accent, and I know I can't. But so, what are your interests? That's what they say at every date. What kind of things do you like to do?
Let's put another shrimp on the barbie.
That's exactly what they say. Going back to Ireland, originally this opened as Hastings, England, but it was rethemed to Ireland in 2021. And what do you think about when you think of Ireland? You think of Celtic dancing. So in Ireland, they have
More
the Abbey.
kilts.
The what?
More kilts. They wear kilts, right? Wear kilts in Ireland and Scotland.
I don't know. I just think Scotland.
Oh, well, never mind.
I think of Celtic dancing. They have the Abbey Stone Theatre where they do the Celtic Fire, which is a Celtic celebration, which is fun. They also have Finnegan's Flyer. We finally get to a ride here, and it's one of those giant swings where you swing back and forth. Imagine that. But this one goes 100 feet at 45 miles an hour. And this is a popular attraction, but unfortunately, we don't have one here locally. This is a ride I really want to ride on. I've never been. Have you been on anything like this before?
No.
I think the closest we get to is the tidal wave, a swinging ship ride. That's as close, but that does not go 100 feet or 45 miles an hour. So I'd love to ride Finnegan's Flyer. I mean, we were there and I rode Finnegan's Flyer.
Yes, quite.
Also in Ireland, you're going to find the Eagle Ridge and Wolf Valley animal exhibits. These exhibits are just located outside the village. And they have the Pet Shenanigans Theater, where you can imagine some pet shenanigans going on in there. There's also lorikeet Glen. Have you ever looked up a lorikeet? You know what that is, the bird?
No.
It is a beautiful, very colorful bird. It's like a purple head, a red body, yellow, green, very colorful, not a parrot. So there's the lorikeet Glen, and it's a covered bird sanctuary for lorikeets and other brightly colored birds that you can walk through. So far in England and Scotland and Ireland, we're not hitting any of the big rides. I mean, I guess we did Loch Ness Monster in Scotland, but we're getting there. Don't worry. I'm going to pass the baton off to you for France, but I have to say, I had to look up how to pronounce this word because I wanted to make sure we said it right. Do you want to take a stab at how you say that word?
Aquitaine?
Yeah, see, I want to say aqua too. It's Aquitaine. 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 So, Brandon, I pass the baton off to you.
Mr. Cable! That was my French accent.
That was great.
Did that sound like French?
Uh-huh.
Let me try again. Monsieur Cable! There's my French accent.
That was great. Brandon, full of so many talents, and he can do accents.
The French Hamlet is home to Griffin, a B&M coaster. Has a 90-degree drop from 205 feet.
How tall is Cannibal? That's got to be about the same.
It's pretty tall.
Although that one's not 90 degrees. That's a beyond vertical drop.
It's really scary.
Anyway, sorry to interrupt.
Not bad. It's Griffin. Griffin seems like a English thing to me. But anyway, never mind. It also has the Royal Palace Theater, which has many shows throughout the season. And that is all for France. But wait, there's also a New France section, the French Colonial. So Canada, I guess.
Yep.
That's what watching one of the videos, Jacob said, Canada? I guess that's New France?
Yeah, I picked up on that too.
Anyway, so French colonial influence from Canada. You've got the Les Scouts Log Flume, which is probably the most themed ride in this park.
No, but close. I mean, it's up there.
All right, close enough. And then you got Le Catapult, which is a scrambler type ride. Which, when we say scrambler type ride, is that us channeling from what we know as the scrambler?
No, it is scrambler.
That's actually what it's called.
Yeah.
Okay. I just want to make sure I'm in the right.
Yeah, no, you are. There's a few of those, which I made a discovery. We'll get to in a second.
Okay. I won't get too ahead of myself, but the last thing we get to is the most French name of all, Invader. Because, yeah, totally something that they say in French. It is a wooden coaster themed around the Viking invasion of New France and has 9 airtime hills, a 74-foot drop, and reaches a speed of 48 miles per hour.
Every time I hear the word Invader, there's this Iron Maiden song that goes off in my head.
Well, they should license it and play it on this ride.
Apparently, although it's not spelled the same way, this is a hard R. Invad.
Sorry, Invader.
Yeah.
But with that, I'm going to pass the Baton Rouge. Hey, Baton Rouge, that's French, right?
Sounds like it. I don't know.
Oh, you know what? Is baton a French word?
Probably. That seems right. So we should have had missed opportunity.
What?
We could have said like the word for baton, but in each country. Is a baton a stick?
It is a stick.
Well, I don't know the word in German, but I will take that baton and run through Rheinfeld, Germany.
It is. Hold on. Breaking news. Baton is a French word. I mean, I already knew it was, but I want to Google to tell me for sure.
Nice.
let me pass the baton.
Thank you. I give it a firm grip. We're going to Rheinfeld, Germany. So this area is themed to a runaway ski resort, and it has a pretty awesome roller coaster, Alpengeist, which means Ghost of the Alps. Something unique about this. So it is a B&M inverted coaster, meaning the track is on top. You sit under the track. The carts in front of you, the row in front of you, there's actually skis like on the back. So it looks like you're going up this mountain or you're skiing. It fits with the theming. It inverts 6 times. It is a pretty intense roller coaster. It's fun to watch. Brandon and I did watch Jacob the Carpetbagger at this park. And if you just need a laugh, if you're just having a hard day, look up Jacob the Carpetbagger. His channel's the Carpetbagger. His name is Jacob. Watching him on roller coasters, and you can tell how much he hates it, it brings so much joy to my heart.
His pain brings you joy.
Oh, yeah. And he says it in every video. He's like, I hate these, but I do it for you guys. And his reaction on this one, I think this is the one where he was like, it goes down the first hill and then it slows down a bit. And he's like, okay, I think we're done. Oh, no, we're not done.
Oh, yeah.
So it's pretty fun. Anyway, wait a minute. Brandon, do you hear that?
Oh, no. It's the dreaded carousel review.
It's our carousel review. You dread this?
No, I'm just teasing.
Okay. Oh, I guess you can
just teasing.
The dreaded carousel review. This is our carousel review. This is Kinder Carousel, spelled with K's. Carousel is spelled
because German.
Yeah. Yeah. Is that
yeah.
German?
Oh, hey, you got some German accent. There you go.
Yeah. This is actually a pretty cool carousel, and there's a plaque in front of it that has a good history. So this is a 1919 Herschel carousel, and it says in the plaque, like, you might have ridden this carousel if you were around at that time and you went to a circus or a carnival. This was a mobile carousel, a traveling carousel. So, and that's how many of the Herschel carousels were. They traveled around the country. So I like the history of this. In 1973, Busch Gardens located this abandoned and dismantled carousel in Texas. It was in Dallas, Texas. I'm curious how it got there. And so under the direction of Roy Herschel, the grandson of the builder, 14 craftsmen spent 6 months restoring this carousel to its original condition, which is really cool. They replaced they didn't replace, they restored all side panels, ponies, castings, and brass rails. And so they're either original or genuine Herschel replacement parts. And the last thing, it has 36 hand-carved ponies and 2 double bench chariots. So this is a good one. It did look like there was a Wurlitzer band organ in the center of this one, as well as you spin around.
Good job.
Yeah. No,
not the Calliope.
Don't you dare. No Calliope music for this one. But yeah, that's the review for the carousel. Also in Rheinfeld, now this is more my pace. There's the Rhine River Cruise, and this is just a boat ride that goes throughout the park, and it's beautiful, very relaxing.
Yes.
When we traveled there, okay, let's cut the crap. If I traveled there, I would be so excited to ride this little boat ride. Nice little boat ride, and there's tons of roller coasters on the edges of the shore. As you go by, you get plenty of views, and you just do a loop around the park. In Rheinfeld, there's also the Land of Dragons. This is an interactive children's play area. It has a tree house and like water features and kids rides. It's very cool. Lots of dragons in there. And that's all the attention we're going to pay to that, because we got to get it over to Oktoberfest in Bavaria, Germany. And this area has a lot of carnival style rides, but I like the names. Der Autobahn is the bumper cars.
Der Autobahn.
Der?
I don't know. I mean, this is my heritage, but I couldn't tell you how any of this is pronounced.
I'm so disappointed.
Der Autobahn.
They also have Der Autobahn Junior, the junior bumper cars. They have Der Roto Baron, the Red Baron. I like this one. Der Wirbelwind, which is the swings. And then they have this massive castle.
Dark Coaster.
Yeah, so it used to be Dark Castle. And I think it was a fan favorite. People loved it. It was a indoor dark ride. It was mostly 3D screens as you moved around. It was really cool. And the story is that they closed it to put one of the Howl-O-Scream haunted houses in there, which is awesome, by the way, going into a castle for a haunted house. And then after that, they just didn't open it back up. Apparently, they had a lot of technical issues with it. So they decided, let's gut it and start over. And so they put Dark Coaster in there. So it goes from Dark Castle, the Dark Ride, to Dark Coaster, which is an indoor straddle coaster. Very interesting. The whole thing's indoors, of course. It looks like you're riding on ski jets. Very interesting ride. And of course, on-ride footage is not great because it's in the dark, but there's a lot of flashing lights and lightning, and you're going through a castle. It's all fast. Sounded fun. A lot of screaming. Can't see anything. So that's Dark Coaster. Again, the castle is really cool. There is Verbolten, which is the Black Forest themed launch coaster with top speeds of 53. This one, so outside of it, they have it tells an interesting story with like vines taking over, I guess the Black Forest taking over. There's a Porsche out in the front that's being taken over by vines. And if you're not paying close attention, you might think this is an outdoor roller coaster. And then it goes inside, and a lot of it is indoors. It's a really fast coaster indoors. And then it comes to a stop indoors. And it looks like these vines are making up a face. And all of a sudden, the track drops. It's a drop track. Drops down, and then you finish the ride outside going through the forest. So it's actually a pretty cool ride. Watching these, I was like, even the bad coasters, and I feel weird saying that because it didn't seem like there's any bad coaster, but all of them seem really cool. So I'd like to make it out there. This one I included, it's not there anymore, but it's the Mock Tower. I assume that's how you say it. Fans did not like it. It was just a drop tower. I think it was about 200 feet, and fans just didn't like it. They felt like it didn't even fit in with the theming of Germany. Why have it? So they removed it, and it's just like a tent now in that area, a seating area from where the drop tower was. And how can we talk about Oktoberfest without mentioning that they do have Beer Fest, which features 22 different beers on tap throughout the whole area. And that is it for Germany and Oktoberfest. And I pass the baton back to you, Brandon.
Thank you, Matt. We're moving on to Italy. Now, don't ask. I don't even know how to do an Italian accent. Oh, God, of course I do. It's the pasta and the panini and
It's
the
me,
Mario.
Mario.
There you go. Yes, we head over to Italy, San Marco Hamlet, themed around celebrating the return of Marco Polo.
Polo. Sorry, I ruined your pronunciation.
Themed around celebrating the return of Marco
Polo.
Ha. Oh, they should have a swimming pool in this section.
Maybe they do.
Maybe
No,
they do.
They don't.
You will find, though, the midway games here. We've also got rides are themed around Roman mythology. Got Apollo's Chariot, another B&M hypercoaster, 210-foot drop, and happens to be a fan favorite. I realized my error. I was saying that an earlier log ride was pretty heavily themed. This is the ride I was thinking about.
Oh,
Roman
right.
Rapids.
Yeah, they are very similar.
Roman Rapids ride.
Oh, wait, no.
I think it's pretty cool. What?
No.
What?
Escape Through Pompeii is the one I think you're thinking about with the fire.
Oh my gosh, how many rides? Oh, yeah.
They got 3 water rides. Roman Rapids is not good at all.
Step back. Then we have Roman Rapids, a rapids ride. You're going to get wet. There's nothing more to that. It's just, that's what it is. So bring some extra socks, as you're probably going to soup your pants. We've also got the Trade Winds. This is a Music Express ride.
So this is the one I was talking about. Sorry to cut you off.
Okay.
They are called Music Express rides. Like that's the one at our park. But if you look that up, that's what a lot of them are called. So people know what that is. Music Express ride. You're spinning in a circle.
Basically a carousel, but much faster.
Yeah.
And you don't sit on a horse or animal of some sort.
You sit in a chariot.
You sit on your partner.
Well, that's a little inappropriate.
See what I did there?
Yeah.
Because they push you to the sides.
You play Jello.
Trade Winds. Yeah. It is what it is. Then you got the Turkish Delight, which is teacups, and side tangent. I've never had a Turkish Delight before, but every time I hear that, I think of, do you know what I think of?
No.
The Chronicles of Narnia.
Oh, never
First
seen
movie.
it. Never read it.
Really interesting. Anyway, the character, he basically gives everything up for some Turkish delights. So that's all. And then you got the battering ram, another swinging ship. Well, not another. This is more a swinging ship type ride, more like our tidal wave. And then we've got Tempesto, has 3 launches, an inline twist, and a loop. It goes about 60 miles per hour backwards and forwards.
So this is the one that is the exact same as the electric eel at SeaWorld. A very small footprint for a roller coaster. It just basically goes vertically. The track goes up. It's not built out. And so you launch forward and then you fall down. You launch backwards and you fall down. You launch forward and then you do a bunch of loops and stuff. And you come back through to the entrance. So small footprint. It's the exact same as the electric eel at SeaWorld in San Diego. It's a cool ride too.
Yeah, a lot of fun. We had a good time on it on our road trip, you know?
Yeah.
And then you got the Pantheon, which is an Intamin multi-launch coaster, advertised as the world's fastest multi-launch roller coaster. Whether that's the truth or not, I'm not going to speculate, but that's how it's advertised. And then we have what I would call the pièce de résistance. Oh, that's French, actually, but we'll call it that anyway. Escape through Pompeii. Now, earlier I said when you were talking about one of the flume rides, I was like, oh, yeah, this one's really cool. But I was like, this is actually the one. They have a lot of water rides at this park.
Just the 3, but it's hot. You got to cool off.
Yeah, but that's a lot. At least 2 flumes and a rapids ride. I don't know. Anyway, this one's really cool. Escape through Pompeii. It's a boat ride with cool theming and fire effects. It's nothing like mixing water and fire.
It is pretty cool. The fire made me nervous.
It made you nervous.
Yeah, looking at the fire, I was like, oh, geez, this stuff's going to catch on fire. Of course it's not, because they built it.
I mean, looking at the fire and feeling the fire because we're in the boat.
Yeah, but that is a cool one.
But as we finish our escape through Pompeii, we finish our tour of the park. And I pass the baton back on to you for no more walking around. The relay is over, I guess.
Yeah, my legs are tired. My hands felt empty that whole trip, but that was a fun time.
Good time.
All right, let's start wrapping this bad boy up. Talking about all those rides, mostly coasters. Brandon, what ride would you want to ride the most?
If it is any indication from my last speech, I would say Escape Through Pompeii.
That is a good one.
I mean, I like water rides. I'm not usually one to want to get wet. This one doesn't seem like you get as wet, but...
Well, it depends if people are paying to soak you after, because you're right. The initial drop is not bad. But
that's true. They got the shenanigans with the water cannons.
Yep.
Yeah. So if you're lucky and people are not paying to spray you, you have to pay, right?
Yeah, you do have to pay.
So if people aren't paying to spray you, then you should be fine. But yeah, I think that would be my coaster, my ride.
I think I couldn't decide which one I wanted to do because I want to try, again, Finnegan's Flyer. I want to do one of those big swing rides so bad, but that's not unique to Busch Gardens. I also really want to do Rhine River Cruise just to see the whole park. I would be happy to get there and ride that through the whole park just to see it and be on a nice boat ride.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'd probably do Dark Coaster too. I think that would be a cool one. It just, like you said, doesn't have the best. I mean, when we went on it, my eyes were closed because I was just scared. So similar to what you see if you watch the videos, but I don't know. It didn't like capture me that much, but I think that would be a cool one.
Yeah.
But I'd still probably say Pompeii, number 1. That one, number 2.
If I was doing a coaster, I would do Pantheon, which I think is the newest coaster, where again, there's a part where you launch and you go up and over, but you don't quite make it. You fall down and you launch backwards up the track goes straight up, and then you fall down and launch again and go up and over. You make it over the hill the second time. So that one looks really fun. I think I would enjoy that one the most, probably. But I could be wrong. A lot of them look really good. We're going to move on to the food section. So I asked what food would you eat, but we really didn't talk about food in the park. There's something that made me laugh. So in New France, so Canada, that's apparently one of the best places to eat. It's Trapper's Smokehouse, and it serves grilled and smoked items such as chicken, turkey legs, ribs, and beef brisket. Have you ever had barbecue at a theme park before, Brandon?
Yeah, Bengal barbecue.
Oh, yeah. We'll count it.
Just kidding. I don't even think I've eaten there.
Oh,
No,
You liar.
I've not had barbecue at an amusement park before.
Listeners know that Legoland is one of my favorites in Carlsbad, and they have actually some of the best food in the park is the barbecue. I love it. Very good. There's this like Texas plate that you get. It has beef brisket and ribs and other stuff, other meats.
Assortment of meats.
Yeah, really good. So this sounded good. And then Oktoberfest, of course, you would assume German food,
Yeah,
but they heavily advertised their American classics in Germany. So I don't know what that means, but
hamburgers.
yeah. Yep. I guess you have to food for everybody, but it's not like Epcot where you're eating around the world. A little bit, but not really. That's about it for food. Boy, we got through that episode.
We did it.
And a good one too. I actually really enjoyed researching this one. When I first started, Brandon, I texted you and I said like, oh, I don't know. This one's just like mostly coasters. And there's really not a lot of cool history with coasters. It's not like dark rides where there's a person designing it and the story behind the dark ride. And it's just coasters. And your response was like, kind of sounds boring or something like that. But as we got into actually doing the research, I'm like, dang, I would really like to go to this park. It seems like a lot of fun, especially for the theming. The theming is really good there. So each of the hamlets, you feel like you're in that place. It's really cool. I think I would really enjoy going to this park. What about you? You think you'd enjoy it?
I think so. Yeah.
The question we got to ask ourselves, you think each hamlet smells different? Smells like that country?
Hopefully.
That would be nice. And that brings up Magic Candle Company. They did not have Rome in this one, but if you ever want to smell what burning Rome smells like, you can get that scent from Magic Candle Company.
Good job.
Thank you. You can smell what Fiji smells like through Magic Candle Company. So if you want to get yourself a good scent, we have an affiliate link in the description of our episode. We got to keep our streak alive. Our Magic Candle Company money is starting to run out, starting to run low. So if you you got a birthday coming up, an anniversary, or you just want to get a fun gift, head over to Magic Candle Company. Use our affiliate link in the description. Don't head over to Magic Candle Company. Go down into our description and click
Go to
the
our
link.
description link first.
Yeah, that would be great. All right. I have to ask the question, does this have a waterfall in the park? Do you count Escape Through Pompeii as a waterfall?
Oh, there's a lot of waterfalling.
There is a lot of waterfalling.
I don't know. Let's go ahead and say yes.
Okay. I feel like this park would have a waterfall, so I'm surprised I didn't see one anywhere else, but it's got a waterfall, and that checks the box that we love, especially Brandon loves. I think that's it. Any final thoughts, Brandon, on Busch Gardens in Williamsburg?
Yeah, again, it sounded boring. Not as bad as we initially thought. It's a lot better. So, good place. Check it out. Check out the videos if you want. If you're not going to travel to it like we did. So yeah, not a bad park.
It was a lot of fun. Well, before we wrap up, I guess I'll throw out there. If you want to get in contact with us, you can reach us at amusementparkroadtrip@gmail.com. If you have any comments or places you want us to visit, let us know. You can find our podcast also on YouTube. And if you're listening on YouTube right now, give us a thumbs up. There's some person, I don't know who, so it automatically posts to YouTube the same as it posts to your podcast player. It posts at 12. And every morning when I wake up pretty early, there's always one listen, like first thing in the morning. And it's not me. So there's somebody out there. If you're that person that listens as soon as it comes out on YouTube, just say hi in the comments. That's all. That's all you got to do.
Thank you, and just say hi.
They're consistently every morning I wake up Tuesday, first thing I check to make sure it's there. And there's always the one person that's like first thing in the morning. So kudos to you. Yeah, just say hi. We'll say hi back. It'll be a real fun exchange. Anyway,
yeah.
You can also find us on Instagram and Facebook. Are we on Facebook?
Yeah, we're on Facebook.
Through Instagram?
Or through Facebook. I can post on Facebook. I just post through Instagram and it goes on Facebook. But we're there.
That's what I thought. There. That's what I thought. Brandon's our social media guy. I stay away from that, but I am a YouTube guy, and we do YouTube shorts for every episode, almost every episode. So check those out. And I think that's it. We're going to have a safe drive back, and hope you have a safe week.
Bye-bye. Toodaloo.